Next thing you're going to want to do is load your tool in. So there's many different tools you can use. I recommend using one of the compression bits, which is just the one that has the flutes going one way and about a 1/2 inch down from the end of the tool, they go the other way. It just seems to be the best universal tool to use. Make sure that your spindle is high enough. So if you need to bring it higher up in the pendant, jog next, and then raise it up a bit if you need to. But just be aware that the spindle, the Z-axis can limit out, it can max out on the height. So just be aware of that. All it means is that you have to reset it. It's gonna tell you there's an error. Just reset it, it's totally fine. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna load the tool into the collet. Or first you're gonna load the collet into the holder. So that's just a matter of taking the fat side of the collet and dropping it into the top of the tool holder, and it's gonna snap. So you're gonna wanna hear that nice snap. And now it's pretty well locked in place. And the only way to get it out is by pushing it off to the side and unsnapping it. So once it's snapped, you can put your tool into it. Make sure that the tool is, or the collet is the right diameter for the tool. Tool is in the collet. It should be a friction, somewhat of a friction fit, but just be aware that it can slip out. So once it's in, you can pop the tool into the spindle. What I do is I get the holder kind of seated, and then I start spinning the threads instead of trying to hold the threads and spin the holder. Like I just find that it's easier to hold this stationary and spin these ones, and it just kind of goes in a little bit better. And then make sure that you don't forget to tighten it, because if you don't, as you're cutting, the tool might slip out. So another tip is to get this seated so that that's freely, you're able to spin that around. And once that's done, you can tighten it. So you'll feel it tighten. Okay, now that's fairly tight, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this against this, I'm gonna put the bigger wrench against the steel upright for the dust collector. And I'm going to just give it a little extra tighten. There. That's definitely not falling out now. So once it's in, it's tight, it's ready to zero.